What's up, guys? Here, we're going to be talking about the lake effect snow that's going to be coming into portions of northwest Indiana and southwest Michigan. Over the last couple of days, we've had a couple or a few significant accidents even occurring with light lake effect snow over there because of very cold single-digit temperatures, refreezing on the pavement, black ice on the roadways. We had the 5 to 6 car pileup underneath the bridge outside Michigan City this morning. We had a pileup on 994 the other day. Just before that, you guys have to be careful when you're driving in lake effect snow. It doesn't matter if it's coming down light or heavy. If it's coming down very consistent for like 24 to 36 hours, the plows might not get there or catch it. It might freeze because of really single-digit temperatures on the roadways overnight. There's like you just have to be careful and watching out and driving. So the trough ejection is starting to happen now. The trough is just near or north of Green Bay. That's starting to dive south. Once that trough continues to dive south, Lake Superior, lake effect snowband will downwind connect all the way down the lake of Lake Michigan, connecting into northwest Indiana, southwest Michigan, probably starting after midnight. The reason why it's not starting late tonight and it's starting more tomorrow morning or after midnight tonight is because it was a slower trend. The models didn't show that till the last second. So that's because it's a slower trend. I went out there thinking that, it was going to happen later on tonight, but when I looked at the forecast models, I'm like, I'm not going to wait out here for 10 hours. So I went back home. So I'll be back out there after midnight tonight or tomorrow morning. So the trough ejection is finally starting to happen. When we click on the radar up here, you can see, oops. You can see it's switching to a northerly wind up here with the lake effect snow here starting to happen over Lake Superior. The trough is like right here, and that's starting to dive south. So that's a north wind now behind that, and this is in a funnel and connect all the way down the lake once that trough does start making its way down south. So we'll start to switch from a west-northwest or a westerly wind down here across portions of Michigan into more of a northerly wind. And then that fetch will feed lake effect snowband into the winter weather advisory area. And don't be surprised that these two counties right here that I'm circling that could upgrade to a winter storm warning because it does exceed a criteria of seeing over 8 inches of snow. They haven't pulled the trigger to keep talking about it on the area forecast discussion, but a lot of the forecast models, especially the high resolution models, do show this lake effect snowband after midnight going into Thursday morning, Thursday evening, promoting 1 to 2 inch an hour snowfall rates. If it is staying consistent, we could see areas anywhere between 6 and 12 inches of snow out of this lake effect snowband within several hours short time frame. So it will be heavy. It will be affecting your major portion corridors here at 31, 196, and I-94 here across this area. Especially these west to east or southwest and northeast oriented roads, you'll get a north wind at 25 or 30 miles an hour with that lake effect snowband. So you could be seeing some blowing and drifting snow, reducing visibility, just not even underneath the lake effect snowband, just outside it as well. So that's what we're going to be seeing after midnight. Once that trough ejection does make its way down the lake, we'll probably likely see that. So you can see right there on radar, you can see the front coming down right there. It's sagging south. Those clouds there are kind of moving southwest, but that's switching to a north wind behind that, and that trough is going to start digging south. Lots of saturation already over the lake. A lot of moisture already kind of overspread across the area, especially with that small system moving off to the east, obviously, way further downstate. There's going to be a lot of good dynamics in place for this lake effect snowband now to determine if it's going to be transit or not. If it does stick over the same area for a while, it will produce some really good snowfall rates, and it could add up pretty quickly within maybe a 10 to maybe 25 or 30 mile radius. That's how skinny the band is going to be west to east. Now it could move around a little bit, but if it does stay in the general same area for a little while across portions of southwest Michigan, it could add up. So let's go ahead and check out a couple of the forecast models here. Let's check out the NWS, which is the NWS, which is the NDFD model. It keeps continuing to uptrend a little bit, catching up to what the higher resolution models are saying at this point. And it keeps bouncing around between totals. Like it's showing a max only between 6 inches, while the HER model says different. And here's the HER model. If we go all the way back out to the 18Z, which is the max run, you can see that it showed between those two counties right here across southwest Michigan, showing a max possibility of 14 inches of snow. Not saying 14 inches of snow is likely to happen, but like I said, if the band does become more consistent and stays over the area for a while, it will add up quickly because it will be dumping some snow very fast, very heavy, very low visibility. As they do mention in the AFD forecast discussion, that visibility will be a quarter mile or less within this lake effect snow band that does develop. So like I said, especially if you're driving around the Benton Harbor area tomorrow morning into the afternoon, likely just be careful because there's going to be some wrecks out there, some people sliding around because of this lake effect snowband once it does develop. Here's the 18Z HER model. What it does show, it shows that north wind. It shows like a mesolow starting off that comes down the lake and the lake effect snowband, and it finally drifts away around 8 or 9 p.m. on Thursday evening, Thursday night actually. So depending on how it does develop, how long it stays in the same area, it will be dumping some pretty decent snow there. You can see it kind of just hovers right there just south of the 94, 197, 196 area, which is kind of targeting the St. Joseph, Benton Harbor area. Not saying it's 100% correct, but the HER model is really good when it does show these lake effect snow band events. And talking about the wind here as well, the surface, here we go. Here's our surface wind gusts. As that mesolow comes in, there could be some wind gusts as high as 35 miles an hour when that first initial mesolow comes in to start the lake effect snowband behind it. So there could be some decent wind gusts anywhere between 20 to 30 miles an hour, which could lead to, you know, decent blowing and drifting snow, low visibility, which could cause accidents tomorrow around the St. Joseph area. So just be careful because, like I said, it will be pretty heavy when it does come down. It's going to be a very heavy lake effect snowband. Just a DBZ here checking out. I mean, that's DBZ up to basically 30, maybe 30, 34 in some areas. So it's going to be a pretty heavy lake effect snow. Checking out the latest forecast model here. Shows it want to shift a little bit more further north. So every single model run is differently showing something different. And stuff will continue to keep jumping around because lake effect snowbands can't be, you know, pinned down in the exact area. But you can see that these totals do add up pretty quickly, especially after midnight going into Thursday morning around the Benton Harbor, St. Joseph area. So just be careful when driving out there. Obviously, there will be lake effect snow. Looking out ahead, if we're seeing any other systems that are be coming in, I'm a little curious to look here. So we'll look at the 12C European model first, just to see what's out ahead of us. So we got that lake effect there. We got some cold air coming in, a little bit of warming up, but I would say it's going to be pretty dry for a little bit, with some cold, maybe some above warm temperatures as well in between. But it's going to be pretty dry over the next week or so, or week and a half or so after this lake effect snow. So don't expect a ton of precipitation. Temperatures will be bouncing around between freezing cold or warming up a little bit into the 30s or 40s in between. But after this lake effect snow event across southwest Michigan, it's going to be a little dry out across the upper Midwest for the most part for the next week and a half or so. So don't expect a ton of stuff to happen. So this is like probably the best action we'll get in a little while before we kind of dry out. And then our temperatures Thursday morning, this is what we're looking at here around 7 a.m. for temperature wise. 2 degrees, some negatives out there across western portions of northwest Illinois, but it's going to be single digits tomorrow morning across portions of northern northwest Indiana and southwest Michigan. Underneath the lake effect snow band, with that moisture and warmth coming off the lake, a little bit temperatures might rise into the lower 20s, but it's going to be significantly cold, and good enough for blowing and drifting snow. So that's what we're really looking at here. That's why it's taking so long for that lake effect snow band to actually get going, because the trough is still up there. It's not fully down here yet, and it's going to take time for it to get down here. That's the trough right there. Somewhere right here, that's where the trough is. So it's moving south. And this fetch right here will stream all the way down the lake, connecting between Lake Superior into downwards Lake Michigan. But it's taking a little while to get down the lake. So, but at least we can see it, and we can see the response to that cold air behind that front coming down. And it's bringing in a good amount of energy with it. So that's going to be a good stretch of lake effect snow once it does make its way down here. That's how long it's going to be fetching. It's where it's going to be coming down. But it's going to be coming in like this with a meso-low, and the fetch is going to come following all the way down behind it till it finally switches out of that northerly wind. So that's about it with this live weather update. So I'm gonna give you guys just, the breakdown of what's currently happening, what's going to happen with the lake effect snow event. It's not like a major event, but like I said, when you get 1+ an inch an hour snowfall rates for a short period of time, it adds up. You're going to be having accidents, and I'm a little concerned for this area right here in between on Thursday morning that we're going to have some possible pileups again, because people are not going to be curious or careless driving, and you won't be paying attention. So stay tuned for later updates, and that's about it.